I'm Jennifer Johnson, and today we're going to focus on the Hlookup function in Excel. Over the course of the past several tips, we've looked at a variety of different lookup functions that are available. The Hlookup function is kind of a partner to VLOOKUP, except with Hlookup, we're going to be searching across a row of data horizontally. And then once the matching piece of data is located, Excel will then search down that matched column in order to return a value. So VLOOKUP focuses on a vertical match and then goes across horizontal. Hlookup focuses on a horizontal match and then goes down vertically. We'll talk about XLOOKUP in our next tip of the week. Here's how the Hlookup is going to work. I have got a series of sales folks who make commissions based on the number of sales calls that they make every month. Well, I need to determine how many total calls each salesperson has made. I have a separate spreadsheet that totals up all of their calls by quarter. So what I want to do is I want to search for each of my salespeople in my total calls or sales calls worksheet, and once I find a matching salesperson, return the value of their total calls. So we can see that Bob is going to be a matching salesperson between my two spreadsheets. Once it searches across the row of salespeople, it will go down and return for me the 23, which is the total number of calls that Bob made. Let's go into Excel and put in the formula and see how it works. All right, I have my Excel spreadsheet ready to go. This is my list of salespeople. And here on a separate worksheet is all of the sales calls. So we'll start first with the cell C3 where Bob is located. We begin all formulas with an equal sign, and we'll type in the formula name, which is Hlookup. Hlookup has four main arguments. The first argument is the lookup value. This is the thing that we're matching between the two pieces of data. That's going to be the salesperson, Bob. So I'll select Bob, which is in cell A3, and insert a comma. The second argument of my Excel formula here is the table array. The table array is where we go search for our data. Let's go over to the sales calls worksheet, and I'm going to select the table that has my salespeople in it, as well as the number of calls. Now, with this particular function, the very first row that I select has to have the matching data set. So in this case, the salespeople. And I've selected all the way down through the total, which is where the data is that I want to capture. I'll insert a comma, and the next function of my formula is the row index number. So with Hlookup, we count down. Remember, with VLOOKUP, you counted across. So row 4 in Excel is actually row number 1 in my row index. I want to return what's in the total row. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows down. So we will tell Excel that once I find a match, count down 6 rows and then return that value. The final argument is whether or not I want an approximate or an exact match. Again, we're typically going to be finding exact matches, so I will use false. Let's hit enter, and you can see that my formula has returned my value of 23. Now, as we've talked about in other tips of the week, if I copy this formula down, I'm going to have a problem because I did not lock any of my references. And as Excel advances formulas down, it advances the rows. So my table array is no longer the right table array. So let's fix that. Let's go back to our original formula, and we're going to lock our references to the table array. Locking a reference means you're going to put a $sign in here before the row or column or both in order to make sure Excel always stays there when we are using that formula. So I've added to that formula $signs then between the beginning and the end of my table array. I'll copy that formula down, and now you can see using the Hlookup feature, we matched data within an existing row, and then we search down from that row to return a piece of data. And that's our Excel tip of the week on Hlookup.